Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time between drinks, but we're finally here. So we've had the trials and tribulations of the World T20, which culminated in us lifting the trophy after a long time. And after a big long break for our cricketers and ourselves, we're right back into it. As they say, the journey to Mount Everest begins with a single step. And tomorrow, if India wants to win the trophy here at Moore Park, they have to get started at the first ball in Madrasipattanam, also known as Chennai. So we have another person with an M, Mr. Manan joining us today. Our hero, the cool cat of Chennai, Mr. Vijay Narayan, is currently speaking to Ravi Anna, just giving him final tips. So he said he's going to join us. Let's kick on with it. Manan, more than India's 10 test matches, we've got a dream story that's about to culminate again. Mr. Rishabh Pant and a test return 629 days in the making. What do you think?
Kind of mixed feeling, to be honest. While there's no doubt on the guy's potential, and he deserves, or he deserves another run. Is it now? I don't know, because I don't think he performed that well in the Duleep Trophy, or at least he didn't have that much, data points to kind of see that. Versus maybe a Sanju Samson who always fails, but yeah, performs somewhere else. But yeah, I'll still pass that on. My problem with Rishabh Pant and all of the laurels is that yes, it was difficult for him. Yes, I'm sure it was agonizing 629 days. But let's face it, the reason he went out was not just because of pothole, right? So it is a conflicting opinion or view that I have. I am also not sure whether I should be happy about it that he's back, or and he's getting the all the all congratulations messages and whatnot, or I should just shut up and talk about the comeback story and just wait for the guy's return to test cricket, which obviously will be electrifying more than anything else. Of course, we need him back in the Border Gavaskar Trophy for sure in Australia. This time around, of course, he doesn't need to babysit any Australian kids because there'll be a lot more Indian kids traveling with them. So should be fun to see all of that.
Thank you, Mr. Manan. And Vijay, I understand you were coming late because you needed to talk to Ashwin about the pitch in Chennai. And before we get to the preview of the game, what do you think? What have you heard from the Indian team? Because I know you're very good friends with Ash and other Indian cricket players. Given your stature as now a singer with Mr. Kamal Hassan himself. So what have they been telling you, Vijay? And can you remember who we are?
Hi, Prasanna. Hi, Manan. It's good to be back on the show. And you know, yeah, sure. I mean, I've heard as much insider news from Ashwin by virtue of being in the same city as him, as you've heard news about the future of Australian cricket from Sir Donald Bradman as when you were a kid and he was alive and you were also in the same city as him. So he lived a few blocks away from where you are. So I'm sure you must be friends.
Remember, you saw where he lived as well, Mr. Vijay.
Yeah,
You
exactly. I remember you like genuflecting outside his house, and I've still got those photos. So he like went on all fours and everything. Yes. So look, I'm excited about cricket coming back to India, I guess. Not so excited that it's Bangladesh that we're facing tomorrow, but let's hope, it is the one-sided affair that we're all hoping it'll be, and India doesn't have any India doesn't throw us any new surprises. So I'll throw it back to you, PK, because honestly, I don't have any insider news. I might actually go to the game tomorrow, so maybe if I hear stuff being said in the dressing room, I'll keep an ear out for that.
Yes, please do. Look, before we get to India versus Bangladesh and the return of Rishabh Pant, which we've talked about in a bit, I want to talk to you about the many Indias. Remember how, when we were all growing up, there's always that Amitabh Bachchan thing. There's two Indias within this country, and the many Indias that we have that many of our politicians say. There were at least four Indias playing each other against in the Duleep Trophy. in Bengaluru and Anandpur. So, did any of you guys watch it? What are your thoughts? Look, I think there were a couple of standout performances. I think with the bat, Ricky Bui and Mushir Khan, who is the brother of Mr. Safraz Khan, as very well as everyone will know, Mr. Pradyut Vatta's opinions on Safraz Khan, they've done really, really well. 184 and 182 runs. Rishabh Pant, again, great strike rate. And there was also who's the bowler? Anshul Kamboj, who did really good cricket. I suppose not something that's not very surprising is the fact that Sanju Samson still can't buy a run, especially if he wears the India jersey.
Yeah, I was just
Did any of you go, Rija? What do you think?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, look, I didn't follow the Duleep Trophy, right? That was I didn't follow
Yes.
the different Indias that were playing, but I did. I know, my attention did go to the scoreboard now and then because I saw like India's A to D playing, and it didn't seem like I mean the teams seemed pretty evenly matched, and it would have been quite an interesting tournament. And the only thing that stood out for me was that Shreyas Iyer was repeatedly failing in the first innings, and then somehow trying to salvage it in the second innings, but then his team kept losing badly. Same with Sanju Samson, he wasn't able to click, and it's a bit sad because he was a player that showed a lot of potential, and he got his opportunities to demonstrate his mettle in Sri Lanka, I guess, in the last series, and he didn't really have a great series there either, and now this. So I wonder what Sanju's future of making it into the Indian squad is like. As for the others, I think everything. Yeah. I haven't really paid attention to anything else that's been happening there, but this did stick out because I was looking for like familiar faces, and I saw Rishabh Pant do well, and I saw Sanju and Shreyas Iyer do not so well. Manan,
Fair enough.
thoughts?
Yeah, I think, of course, I've not been following cricket a lot as actively as I will now. But apart from these performances, I saw certain snippets of Rian Parag batting, and he played some really good shots. And again, if that guy has his head in the game, I'm sure he's a very, very good potential for the country. I don't remember, who bowled that delivery. I think it was left armer, plays for Rajasthan Royal. I can't remember the name. He bowled pretty well, and again, very good potential going forward as well. Overall, from very little what I saw, I maybe just the love for the current team or fast bowling unit that one has. I have my doubts in terms of the potential once JB or Shami and to some extent Siraj, not Shiraz, Siraj phases out. But let's hope they groom the youngsters.
Fair enough. I think the person you're talking about is Yash Dayal. I think it is. He's the
Yeah,
left arm.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
that one? Yeah, I think it's the Rinku Singh over. He got tonked in the IPL as well. All right, let's move up to Mannan's favorite team, Bangladesh. Now, Bangladesh is coming off a 2-0 victory against what would be best described as, I mean, it's putting, I don't know who I can describe. It's indescribable. Pakistan always is indescribable, usually because they do Pakistan-esque things, which is win from nowhere. Here they've managed to lose and lose pretty badly. So, I'm just wondering what the hell's happening. And Bangladesh, Manan, you're gonna be pretty. It's a bit. I'm getting a bit tense.
Yeah, I mean, see, of course, bittersweet again. Thankfully, so the way you were talking about different Indias within India, within Pakistan 11, there are different Pakistan teams that are playing, and they are not, of course, gelling with each other. One faction has probably a scuffle with another, and then Muhammad Rizwan gets beaten up. So that was really funny though. But credit where due. The Bangladesh team really played well. Coming back from 26 for 6 and winning the game after that was truly, truly commendable. Of course, Pakistan has their issues, no doubt about it. They always have issues, but still, I won't discount the victory. I am that much more excited for the India Bangladesh series because of that. If it happens, given the recent protests that have started, Vijay, you're closer to them. You can tell us what's happening on the ground, but should be a good series. Of course, I'm not rooting for Bangladesh. I can never root it for Bangladesh, especially with Shakib in the team. So, but apart from that, should be a good contest, hopefully.
Before I throw it to Vijay, what are the sports bettor bookies saying with regards to what kind of stunt Shakib Al Hassan will pull? I mean, will he chuck the ball at Virat Kohli? Will he try and shove a stump up the umpire's orifice? Like what's the odds here? What are the one of the outrageous things Shakib might be doing?
Look, I've noticed that Shakib is smart enough to know where the money is coming from, and so his behavior tends to be a bit more restrained when it comes to playing in the subcontinent, especially playing against India. So I feel like at best he will bottle it up and then go back and kick a few stumps in the BPL and shout at the umpires. That's what's going to happen. It's called BPL, right? Yeah. So
BPL, yes.
and look, having said that, full credit to Bangladesh for that 2-0 win against Pakistan. I know, the odds were stacked against Pakistan even before the test series started because they've got terrible form at home. I don't think they won a test match in the last 10 outings at home or something like that. I don't quote me on this, but they don't really have a great track record at home with respect to tests. It might have to do with the fact that the average Pakistani pitch is better than any road in Chennai right now. And so, look, again, that's not taking anything away from Bangladesh. The other thing I want to point out is the sheer entertainment value, like you said, when teams like Bangladesh with, tantrum babies like Shakib playing, the other, the yin to Bangladesh yang is usually Sri Lanka, right? And when the contest really heats up and Bangladesh goes and plays Sri Lanka, and then there's like all the Nagin dances coming out, and it's dirty and it's fun, right? So props to Sri Lanka again for going and getting a victory in England in tests. That was something that I was not expecting at all, and perhaps it was England's complacency. They will always make it look like they're being complacent. I remember, I think Joe Root had like a famous quote. I hope it gets famous now, and he was like, "Look, mate, we can't keep winning. We're not, we can't keep giving a hit every day. We're not Coldplay or something like that, right? Except that I don't think England's given a hit yet, and Coldplay has been pretty consistent. So it was quite amusing to see Joe Root use that false equivalence and not even like bring Sri Lanka's good performance into the picture. And yeah, so the reason I brought in Sri Lanka was because I thought of Bangladesh, and then I thought of Shakib, and then I thought of all the fun stuff that happens. And usually it's a Sri Lankan team at the other end when these kind of things get instigated. So what are your thoughts?
Speaking of Sri Lanka, they're not doing too badly. 300 for 6 against New Zealand, day one, session 3. They've had Mendes, Caminda Mendes, 114 not out. They've had and Kushal Mendes, 50 not out. So 50 caught Southee or Phillips. So they're not doing too bad. So gonna be interesting as we keep following that. Boys, I have 2 questions for you. The first one is India's record in home tests. So until 2020, from 2013 to 2020, India played 34 matches, won 28, lost 1, had a batting average of 44.05. From 2021 onwards, they've played 17 matches, they've won 12, still an amazing record, lost 3, I think, to England and Australia, with a batting average of 33. So you can see that there has been a bit of a slide back. And I think this also coincides with India's ability not playing spin as well. Vijay, what are your thoughts? And then Manan.
Look, I honestly think this Indian team is a lot less cooked than the team that played the BGT last time. I know there were a lot of people back then who were like, a second-rung Indian team, but we've had the opportunity to stand up a really, really solid test team. And I know we keep saying that we're not a champion side, and in all of the formats, we lack that crunch game mentality and all of that, right? So I feel like that is currently true of our test squad. So now is the time to rebuild, and we should really be looking to use the series as a prep series for the other 2 really important test series that lie ahead. I think even the New Zealand series should be treated as a prep series because I think we are, home track bullies, and we should be really preparing for the one holy grail of all test series, not the Ashes. It's always the BGT now. And recently, I heard Nathan Lyons had some words to say about that. So the Australians have amped up the
We'll
banter
get to that. We'll get to that in our
too much.
Border Gavaskar episode. But keeping back to India's home test series, Manan, what do you reckon? There has definitely been a slide on Indian batters in India. Is it the ball? Are they the pitches? Have we forgotten how to play spin? All three?
I think it's of course the bit of it is the pitches, yes. Bit of it is obviously, our spin batting is not great. And when I say pitches, I think and then it also probably is due to the 2021 England series we had, and then there was something else as well. And then, but if you look at the previous BGT that happened in 2023, I think it was still better in terms of scoring and all that. So I think if you just segregate that, the things are improving from that slump, is what I would say. But yes, we are nowhere close to the spin batting prowess that we used to have. Hopefully, like Vijay said, the pitches are not as spin friendly as they should be because we want to prepare for a much bigger series. And let's hope they don't, talk about lack of, playing on fast bowling wickets, etc., etc. And because there are no practice games, like, all those things, so that we prepare now. Let's hope so. But looking forward to India in the white ball or red ball cricket for sure for a long time. Of course, Ash and by the way, I didn't, I think I told you guys, right? So I met Ash Anna in Chennai for a college launch event, and um, he is as bit brilliant and analytical as he seems. The way he interacted with most of them who were essentially, 17-year or 18-year-old kids along with their parents. He could explain cricket to them. Unfortunately, that crowd didn't know who Vinod Kamli was, and few of them didn't even know who Sachin Tendulkar was. Okay, so and
And
Ash
how are
and
these people getting to study higher education? I thought that
I
would
don't know. I don't know.
automatically
Their parents were
disqualify
disappointed in
them.
them. Clearly, I could
This is
see
the
their
future of
faces.
India we're talking about.
Yes, yes, and Ashanna, of course, was disappointed. Of course, he could not, say a lot because he was one of the panelists, of course, and then he explained to them. But overall, very good guy. I am fully impressed with the intellect profile.
Well, coming on to Ashanak and the test match happening, Vijay, in your hometown in Chennai. So tomorrow, what do you reckon the pitch is going to be? And based on that, what do you reckon the bowling combination is going to be? I understand Chennai is quite hot, unseasonably hot. This time in September, it should be relatively cooler, right? So is it going to be a bit more juicier at the start and then using the weather to dry the pitch out and then start bowling spin? In that case, are we going to bowl three fast bowlers, three spinners, 2 and 1? What do you reckon?
I think given it's Chepauk, we'll definitely go with three spinners and two pacers because invariably the ball turns. It's just a matter of when. Is it from day one or is it from day three? And it's been oppressively hot for September. It's been 38 degrees, so I feel bad for the players that are going to be out there tomorrow because it's unusual, but it's really really hot. So yeah, a lot of it will come down to who's got the better stamina and how the teams do. I really don't have any much more expertise in terms of how Chepok's going to play out, but from history we know that it offers it's not a flat wicket. It's not just a batting friendly road, so it will be an interesting game. I just hope the game lasts long enough and goes into the weekend so that I can go catch a little bit of it.
Manan, I want you to answer this one question. Given the fact that we're probably going to be playing Bumrah, Siraj, Ashwin, and Jadeja, who is the fifth spot? And you've got Akshay Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, Akashdeep, and Yash Dayal, who is the only left-arm seamer in the squad. You got to pick one of them, and I want you to give me a preview.
I think I think it's going to be Akshar. Given that we want spin, we want a bit of batting as well. Unfortunately, Kuldeep would miss out again because of the sheer talent available in the side. From a preview perspective, my pick overall, for the series, I, I think Virat will come good. I'm expecting at least one century. Again, Ritu could say we are, milestone focused or whatnot. I don't care. And of course, two or three magical deliveries by Bumrah. Other than that, it will be Ashwin all the way.
Fantastic. Vijay, I'll give you the last word and then we'll knock off.
I'm just glad, like I said, that cricket is back, and there's a small chance that I'm gonna get to watch it live at least one of the days. So I'm really hoping for a fairly even contest, but at the same time something that doesn't throw up a lot of challenges or a lot of surprises for India. And good luck to Bangladesh because they have been a reasonably good side of late. So let's hope they continue their form and give India a true test.
Fair enough. Good point. That's all we have time for. Once again, all the very best. I will be taking my iPad, setting it up in the office to start watching it on KO Sport. Not that they're sponsoring us or
Just another
anything
day of
like that.
talk for PK.
But anyway, hoping once again the start of red ball cricket, the start of India's ascendancy to the World Cup final, World Championship Test final, as well as here in January, holding aloft the Border Gavaskar Trophy here at Moore Park. We've got a lot more episodes coming for you as India begin their Test Championship fight. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching cricket, keep playing cricket, and it's a wonderful game. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Bye bye.